Okay, just think about it. You're fighting a villain, and you end up falling in love with him or her. I know it sounds really cliche, yet amusing at the same time. Well, that's nothing impossible in the world of anime. And today we're ranking anime based on this unusual situation. So without wasting any time, I present to you the top 10 anime where enemies become lovers. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so you can stay updated whenever I upload a new video. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Coming in at number 10, we have Taboo Tattoo. Taboo Tattoo tells the story of Segi, who receives a mysterious tattoo that grants him supernatural abilities to create black holes that devour matter. He's then whisked away from school and into a branch of the American military called the Tattoo Retrieval Unit. The military is at odds with a fictitious kingdom ruled by Princess Aryabata, who wants to take control of all tattoo weapons. Well, if you put it simply, Taboo Tattoo is a nice, straightforward action anime, with lots of fighting scenes, explosions, some unusual superpowers, and a large cast of characters. I know the plot is difficult to follow, but primarily because it doesn't make much sense, and they try to introduce major plot twists without any foreshadowing. But hey, who cares? Taboo Tattoo is a lot of fun, and that's probably the most important thing to evaluate. Taboo Tattoo will provide you with the entertainment you seek as long as you don't expect a powerful and compelling story. Coming in at number 9, we have Devil's Line. Devil's Line is set in the modern world, where vampires, also known as devils, have been living secretly among humans. They are simply attempting to live their lives as peacefully and uneventfully as anyone else. Things become complicated when Tsukasa, a typical college student, is introduced to the truth about her surroundings. She inevitably gets pulled into a huge controversy the country seems to be hiding as she becomes involved with the half-devil, Yuki. Now, the show itself does take itself quite seriously. I say this because there's hardly any jokes, and most of that similar content relies on dark humor, even when there's room to throw in those moments. The plot may have been improved if the rescuing sequences were not repeated so frequently. It's one of those shows that makes it easy to just believe that happiness and true love has no boundaries. Yeah, the relationship between the main characters feels rushed at times, but it's adorable. It's relatable at times, and it's something that'll leave a smile on your face. Coming in at number 8, we have our Last Crusade, or the Rise of a New World. Embroiled in a 100-year war, our protagonist is sent to assassinate the Ice Calamity Witch, Alcalise. Their initial encounter on the battleground creates doubt in their missions. The strings of fate tie them ever closer together, creating a bond that goes beyond something fabricated by mere coincidence. Now, I believe this one deserves more credit than it's received. I understand why a lot of reviews talked about cliché and non-original stuff, but I think anime took its story and brought out an emotional connection with the audience. Overall, I would say that this is an amazing anime that manages to inject some very original ideas into the world of fantasy wars by incorporating romance. Our Last Crusade has a lot of untapped potential, and we know it could have a fantastic second season if the production company gets the green light for further episodes. For the time being, Our Last Crusade is a show I recommend watching, but don't anticipate anything groundbreaking or revolutionary. Coming in at number 7, we have The Pilot's Love Song. This is the story of a prince who loses everything and sets off on a journey with no certainty of returning safely to his hometown. With hatred and vengeance on his mind, he encounters a number of people who teach him the value of friendship and love. To be honest, this is one of the stories where I really like the premise as well as the main plot points. Right off the bat, the immense world Pilot's Love Song is trying to establish feels like it's a light novel anime. I see a lot of complex anime that was based on an even more complex light novel, so it wasn't difficult for me to predict how this story would conclude. If you love a great story in your anime, then you'll enjoy this show. If you prefer shows with a large cast that is well utilized, you'll love this anime. The only issue I have is the rushed last episodes. If not for these last episodes, this anime could have been fantastic. Regardless, I still recommend that you watch this anime. Coming in at number 6, we have Love of Kill. Chateau is a bounty hunter who has no recollection of her past. Ryang-ha is a professional hitman who appears to be obsessed with her. He starts following her around and tries to use the knowledge he has to have a date with her. It seems like Ryang-ha might know more about Chateau than she knows about herself. Let's be honest, if you're looking for anything truly romantic, you won't find it in Love of Kill. Because while it's kind of fun, this is not a solid foundation for an actual romance plot. So, is it a romance anime? Yeah, but this is an anime adaptation of a manga, and even the manga hasn't gotten to the romance bit yet. Love of Kill is essentially a cross between serious humor and mystery. The emphasis is on the chemistry between Chateau and Ryang-ha, which makes for an interesting story. This is not just about the main characters, others have the potential to be significant as well. Give this a shot if you like bounty hunters and the underworld mixed with romance. Coming in at number 5, we have the Fox Spirit Matchmaker.
In a world where humans and demons coexist, humans can fall in love with demons, and demons can fall in love with humans.
Humans, on the other hand, have extremely short lives, but demons can live for thousands of years. However, the Fox Spirits developed a solution. The only issue is that when a human is reborn, they'll be unable to recollect their previous life. A Fox Spirit Matchmaker's job is to try to resurrect the memory of a reincarnated human and assist them to remember their previous life. To be honest, the plot is rather jumbled and chaotic. Especially at the beginning, there's much going on at an extremely fast pace. You'd probably struggle to read the subs and make sense of it all. However, the situation should improve by the 3rd episode. And as the series progresses, a plot gradually forms and steadily gains coherence. Overall, I believe Fox Spirit Matchmaker is quite a unique masterpiece that legitimizes Chinese animation. I recommend it to everyone who enjoys fantasy romance with a dash of adventure and humor thrown in. Coming in at number 4, we have Kimono Zume. Kimono Zume is about a group of specially skilled swordsmen, the Kifukin, trying to kill monsters called Shokojunki. It is a love story one of these swordsmen has with one of the monsters, and their struggles to hold this relationship. Well, Kimono Zume is one of the strangest, wackiest, sickest, and most deranged things I've ever seen. This is not a series for the faint of heart or the weak of stomach. It's bloody, gory, and brutal. This anime sure does have its good points. It's certainly an original story, and the characters do have some depth to them. The anime is amusing and technically well done. The few flaws are quickly swept away by the originality, humor, and the abundance of themes. I recommend it without hesitation. Those who don't mind strange animation, blood, and gore, and are willing to watch a careful display of excellent art should give it a shot. It's not for everyone, but it is worth a shot. From my perspective, I am more than satisfied with this show. Coming in at number 3, we have Girl Demon Zakuro. This anime is about a group of people in the military Spirits Affairs branch. 3 male officers are asked to join the organization, and they're matched with their half-spirits in charge of that division. Their duty is to assist people with spiritual issues, but each pair's relationship progressively evolves into something more romantic. Zakuro, in my opinion, is one of those series that flew under the radar during that season. And granted, when looking at its premise, it seems like a very simple yokai series. However, it's a series that really shines through its execution, and it does an excellent job merging the yokai and romance genres. There's no denying that this anime is amazing. The art is lovely, the narratives are fascinating, but the only problem is that it's simply too short. If you're searching for a light romance, this is a fantastic choice. The plot itself is well-paced and maintains a good balance between the romantic adventures between the characters and the real story and their character development. Autumn 2010 had several hits, and this is one of the most significant. Coming in at number 2, we have Love After World Domination. Himbo hero Fudo and dangerous villain Desumi are definitely in love. Too bad they're mortal enemies and members of 2 opposing organizations. Fudo for the dynamic fighting force, the Gelato 5, and Desume for the evil organization, Gecko. But perhaps love can prevail. Judging by the plot, the anime story appears to be really engaging. The anime is still running, and it looks really decent. The first episode will undoubtedly remind you of Power Rangers. Gelato is used as a spoof of Power Rangers in the story by the anime's creator. Love After World Domination is a romantic comedy combining classic superhero cliches, which makes it unique. My only concern is the future episodes, and how they continue the chemistry between the characters. It's a perfect treat with solid enough animation, perfectly fine characters, and enough jokes for anyone looking for a low-stakes romance to enjoy. Coming in at number 1, we have Romeo x Juliet. A young woman named Juliet is the lone surviving member of a royal line that was ruthlessly slaughtered by the land's new tyrannical ruler in the aerial continent of Neo-Verona. Destined to destroy the man who murdered her entire family, Juliet's hand is restrained by Romeo, the tyrant's son, whom she gets to know and love by mistake. Although romance may be the first thing that comes to mind when you hear these two names, the anime adaptation of this epic tale has so much more to it. The production values in Romeo and Juliet are quite high. The magnificent, floating, magical world is pretty lovely and nicely depicted, with realistic backgrounds, clouds, blue skies, and a very light environment. The character design is likewise good, with varied clothing, fancy items, and a suitable feel, yet it can't help but appear a little generic. Overall, it's a wonderful series to watch because it seems both familiar and new. The main part of Shakespeare's play is still here, but there are so many other aspects to it too. The pacing of the story slows down a little during the midpoint, but any other shortcomings aren't noticeable enough to detract from the enjoyment. That brings us to the end of our list today. If you liked the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to our channel. In the end, you all stay happy, and I will see you in the next video. See ya. Jane.